Let's see. Sound check. Ah. Okay, so let's start. Let's just share my full screen. Let's duplicate this, create a rectangle. Let's resize this to this screen, which is 1179.2556. Okay, so height is gonna be 2556 and 179. And let's log this and reduce the opacity to around like 40. And let me just change the color of this to like this, a red color. Let's touch down this white to end of this solid like this. Pani Puri. Hello. And let's scale this up to like here. This. Scale this down a bit like this. And let's move this to the right side a little bit. You can use the arrow key to move this. Now we can start like creating this boxes and all stuff. Okay, done. Let me just log this layer and let's start. Okay, so let's start by a rectangle. We're gonna create this part first. Reduce the opacity. Let's change the color to like blue and drag this to here. Scale this up like this. I'm just making a rough outline for now. Then we'll start like putting exact values. Place it here. So this is a whole part. Okay, now let's add few circles, ellipse, and let's resize this to 400, I guess. 400, and reduce the opacity to like this. Like place it here, reduce the size, this, and let's change the color to blue like this, and let's duplicate this, place it here. Let's duplicate it one more time and place it here. Okay, wait, duplicate and place it here. Now let's start by adjusting this first box. Let's zoom in. Like this. So to this corner. $130 roundness, I guess. Okay, done. Let's change the size of this box. I think we have to reduce the size of this box like this. Let's resize this from here. And apply some radius to 140, I guess. Okay, 140 is looking good. Now let's adjust the size of this rectangle like this. Done, I guess. Okay, let's reduce this height and apply some roundness to like 130. Okay, done. Now let's rename this. Okay, so this is the ellipse 1. This one is the second one, and this one is the third one. Okay, just remove this. This is the last frame. Let's drag this down. This is the first one. Let's place it on top. This is the second one. These are the ellipse, and this is the last frame. So let's rename this frame 1, frame 01. Let's copy this name, rename this, and change the name like this, frame 3. Now let's focus on creating the inside of these frames. So for this one, for the first frame, we need a ellipse and a bell icon. So let's create, first let's log this frame 1, then create a ellipse like this, reduce the opacity, change the color to red, and let's log the dimensions from here. Then you can just drag and resize it. Okay, so it's 150 by 150. Let's rename this to profile pic. We are not adding these icons for now. Let's move on to our second frame, which has few texts. We are not adding text for now. Let's move on to our third one. It has icon and text. Let's skip this, and let's start creating the inside of this frame 3. Okay, so let's log the frame 3, create a rectangle. Let's change the color to red, reduce the opacity, and let's make a rough outline of this shape like this. and we need to like change some settings on this base image. So let's select this. As you can see, it's selected. Click on this image and let's crank this exposure down like this, so we can see there are some few other boxes. So let's duplicate this one, place it here and make a rough outline like this. Let's move this down like this, and we are not touching the bottom part of this. Now let's make it good by changing the size like this. Drag these corners, apply some roundness. The roundness is 90, I guess 95. Okay, 95 is too much. Let's reduce this to 85. And let's apply the same roundness. To like 85. And let's resize this a little bit like this. And let's delete the third one and just copy paste this and try to match the position of this box. Like this. Now we can reorder this. This is the second one. Let's move this down here. Select the frame 3. Okay, let's select the frame 3 and these 3 rectangles and group them. So this is the slide 3. Copy the name. Wait, what? Control R, paste, rename. Control R, paste and rename. Then let's start adding some other boxes like this ellipse in frame 2. So let's select the frame 2 and apply ellipse. Create an ellipse, place it here like this. Let's lock this and increase the size a little bit to like 110. Let's rename this to icon holder. And let's group this. Okay, so let's rename it to frame 2, frame 2, rename this to frame 3. Let's create a rectangle here. Scale this up like this. And let's reduce this to like 200 and increase the roundness like this. Move this up and we can group this to let's rename it to frame 1, frame 1. We are not adding this stuff, time internet, Wi-Fi and battery. Okay, so let's start adding these icons and text. First let's add a text here. Shane Cooper. Select all this. Let's resize it, not rename, like this. We are using a intern font. Let's change it to like Roboto. Let's use any font. Okay, it doesn't matter for now. We'll change that later. Let's place this here. And you have completed the tasks this month. Wait a second, keep it up. Okay, let's add a text number. Select this and increase the size, place it here. Let's copy, paste and rename it to add task. Favorite this widgets into priority task. Design review. Let's place this here and add a subtask. Let's add this text, interview, and delete this, duplicate this, place it here and place it here. Finish the chapter. Okay, so these are the text. Now let's add some icons. I'm using Iconify plugin. Okay, so we need a bell icon. Like this. We need the outline one. We can use this one. Let's drag and drop this. We need a check mark. We can use this one. We need a plus icon. Let's type plus. Let's use this one. Let's search cards and let's find the similar one. Or let's search files. Okay, well, let's type favorites. No, Wait, documents, wait, document, okay. Documents. Wow, it's the same one, I guess. Style favorite and search the similar icon. Cards or text. Let's skip this one, okay, and let's copy this text, paste it here, search. Let's use this one, okay, drag and drop. Let's cut and paste that here. Let's search sliders. We need this one. Let's import this and let's rotate this, press it here. We need a fire icon for this. We can use this one. Let's import that, or let's use this, okay. Let's place that here, and arrow, so guess this, okay. Arrow, arrow up. Let's use this normal arrow for now. Place that here. Then what we need, okay, that's it, I guess. Okay, let's close this, select all these icons, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, cut them. Wait a second, what? One second. Select, ungroup, select and ungroup, same with this one. select ungroup. Let's place them in one line. Like this. Let's flatten up them. This flat, flat, and flat. Okay, now let's cut them. Enable this, move down. Let's find this image, just this one. Let's move this here, and this is our outline structure for our screen. Okay, we have to find this exact font and few other things like this icon and this arrow. For now, let's import this all in After Effects, but before that let me just find that main frame which I used to create that outline screen, which is this one. And now let's group this ellipse, group selection, and circles. Select all 3 frame and this rectangle, group this and frame selection. Now let's right click, plugin development AUX, and let's open our After Effects. We are using this composition as a screen for our main iPhone. Let me just hide this. Let's lock this composition here, move this playhead to here, and let's open our main screen comp. Okay, and let's select all this and send to E, and it's done. Okay, so this is our screen. So let's start changing stuff in After Effects. Okay, let me just close all this, right click, reveal in composition in project. Wait, it's in AUX, main animation screen, pre-comps, frame 1 has 3 elements, so let's rename this to profile picture, bell icon button, and frame 1 box. Let's change the color like this. I'm gonna use this profile picture ellipse as a mask, so let's change the label color to green. Let's copy all this and let's delete this, and this is the dynamic island. Okay, let me just change the color of this and position little bit because it's bit off center. Let's move this up. Like this. Okay, now let's start by adding those top thing, which is this bell icon, not bell icon, the time, network, Wi-Fi and battery. Okay, so let's open our project, double click here. Well, let's close this. I'm just gonna use a pre-made file for this. Just open my project files or softwares. It's a software folder, assets, software project file, Photoshop PSD, this one X. Where is the Photoshop file? Wait a second. It has only 3 folders. Let's just open this. Where is the project file of that thing? Let's just find it real quick. Wait a second. Photoshop file. Photoshop file. Editing assets. Wedding projects, X, work, raw clips. Where is that Photoshop file? Wait a second. Project files, project file, Photoshop. Okay, here's the file which I'm gonna use. Editable layers, hit OK. Let's open this composite. Let me just hide the image one. Let's go inside this comp, and as you can see we have this info here. So let's open the Wi-Fi icon, mask, and let's change this to add, and let's change this to add too. Let's do the same with the signal icon. Open mask, select all these masks and hit add. Let's close this. Now let's go inside the battery comp. We just set it to full. Let's set M, select this and hit add. Okay, so add is not working here for this shape. Okay, now it's working. Now let's change the inside color, I guess. Set this to add. Okay, so this is the percentage and this is the whole icon. Let's change the border color to bit darkish color, like in dark shade. So let's add a fill effect, change color to white, then like this. around 30%. Let's open the drop down and let's do none. Let's leave it on add. Okay, and we have to increase the size of this, I guess. Let's leave it. Okay, we're gonna notice that much. Close this. And let's copy all these layers from here. We have this bottom slider too. Select all, copy, go to our main animation and paste that here like this. Okay, now let's change the background color to black so we can see it properly. And as you can see, we have our nice iOS info here, but it's not aligned properly, so we have to fix that. And let's move this here. Let's move this layer on top of everything and let's name it to dynamic island. Okay, and place the playhead here, timeline. And what happened to this? Is it glitched? I think it's glitched. Let's change color to white or gray, I guess. Set it to 40%. What's going on in this composition? I don't know. Let's focus on this composition for now. Select the home indicator, place it like here, Control K, and let's see the position value of this. This is the y-axis. We have 1218. Wait a second. So 2404, and we have height of let's see what's the exact difference of this. Okay, so 2436 minus 2404, 32 pixels up from bottom. Got the main comp, Control Alt Home, position. Let's align this to bottom. Where is the plugin? Wait, we have height of 2556. 2556 minus 32. So this is the exact position of this home indicator. Let me just close this comp, I guess. Okay, let's close this. Go to the main comp. Let's create a solid, black solid. Place it on bottom. And what's the position of this time and all stuff? Let's select this layer. The 75 from top, let's go to main, select all these layers, create a master null, open position, and another null position. Wait, let's undo this. Let's delete this too. Open position. You have to align this to this dynamic island, I guess. Or we can just use a reference video, bro, where we wasting so much time. My documents and PC specs, not PC specs. Editing images, screenshots, screen image. Let's drag this here, place it on bottom. Like this. Let's create a grid with rulers like this. Dark files, hello. Place this here. This one is for the battery. This one is for the Wi-Fi. That's it, I guess. Let's place another one here. Let's turn on the time layer. Move this, hide this, down, place it here, done. Let's enable location icon. Select this, Control Alt Home, select the time layer, location layer, go to window. Let's use Align Pro plugin. Distribute by 10 pixels or 25 pixels like this, and that's it. Let's place that here. Enable signal layer, Control Alt Home. Let's place this here like this. Enable Wi-Fi layer, move this down. This enable battery layer. आपकी UI के लिए फ़ोन कौन सा यूज़ क्या है ये यूज़ होता है? Apple UI के लिए SF Pro. Control Alt Home. और इसको यूज़ करने से जगह let's go inside this battery comp. It's not working. Select these layers, merge, no shape. Okay, so these are the Photoshop file. Okay, let's copy this, go here, place it here, delete this. Place it in the center and scale this up. this. Let's reduce it like this. That's it. Hide this, and we have a perfect top navigation bar. Okay, let's go inside the main main iPhone, select the main iPhone layer, go to effects and controllers, scene setup, and let's change some materials here. Okay, preset physical, apply this here, select this and apply this one, scroll down, force opacity 97, hide this and drag this material on that. Now hit OK, go to main screen comp, hide dynamic island layer. Now we have a perfect iPhone screen. Let's select all these layers and lock them, enable psi to hide them, close all these comps, go to AUX frame 1, copy all this, paste that here, let's add a master null for this. Okay, wait, copy, paste, add a master null. ये कौन सा plugin था? Element 3D. Select all this, hit T and right click and enable guide layer. Okay, select the main shape, go to color, fill color and white. Let's select the bell icon, go here, set it to 95 and that's it. Okay, now let's close this, go to frame 2, select, copy and paste that here, go to motion tools, add a master null, right click on it, enable guide layer and let's move this down like this. For now, let's link this icon holder to main frame and select the frame 1, select the frame 2, go to align pro, select this third icon and distribute vertically. Let's reduce the size to like 10 pixels like this. That's looking good. Okay, now we have this much area left on our iPhone screen and that's okay. We have this ellipse, circles and all stuff here, so we have enough space for other elements. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Now let's go to our main screen, lock this and let's relink this icon holder to null4. Now let's close this, go to precomps And where is our ellipse one? Where is our ellipse group? Okay, this is our ellipse group. Let's copy this, paste them here, add a master null, and move this down like this. I'm just selecting frame 2 and ellipse 1. Go to align pro, distribute vertically, so we have exact 10 pixel gap there. And let's select ellipse 1 2 3 and hit this one, this button. Okay, now as we can see, this ellipse are overlapping each other, so we have to fix that too. Let's distribute them in horizontal way. But now this one is going out of frame, so we have to fix that too. Let's select this master null, delete it, select all these 3 layers, add another null, and let's scale this down a little bit to like 96 or 97. Let's say 98. Let's delete this null again, create another one. Okay, so we have gap on that side but not on this side. Fix that. Okay, done. Let's select the ellipse 2, align that to center, select ellipse 1, and let's distribute it by 5 pixels. We can use 10 pixel gap. Now let's uncheck and select the third one and distribute. So we have same gap on both sides. Okay, now let's unselect this, delete this master null, select this 3, create a null, right click, guide layer, and rename this to 5, rename this to 4, null 4, and this to 3. Okay, wait, not 3, this one is the first one, this one is the second, and this one is the third. Now let's import the last comp, which is this one, I guess, frame 3. Okay, copy and go to this comp, paste that here, create a master null, right click, guide layer, and let's change the position and place that here. Okay, now let's delete this master null, select all these frames, wait, uncheck the first one, wait, select the first 3, which is the inside one, the red rectangles, link them to frame 3, select the ellipse 1 and frame 3, go to align pro, select this option, and that's it. Do you end up teaching bounce effect for your animation? Bro, that bounce effect is so like easy, the easiest thing you can create in After Effects. Da, 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 da. Now let's select this frames, hit F4 and let's trackpad that to frame 3 and enable frame 3. Now let's open our reference image, reference video not image, hit 1, let's find that here, double click on it and open that on footage comp. Now let's start adding the colors to our frame. You can just zoom in, select the frame 2, go to properties, pick up this color, but before that let's increase the opacity of every frame, then hit U, deselect them, select the frame 2, now it's yellow, select the icon holder and add this black color, go to ellipse 3, okay, so it's white. I'm selecting ellipse 1 and 2, add color this one. For the third one let's select and pick up this white color, okay, and for the first one let's apply this blue color. For the frame 3 select and apply this white, slide 3, okay, slide 3 and slide 2 and slide 1 is black like this. Now let's see. So this is our iPhone and this is the original video one, okay. There's a big difference I guess, but we'll fix that soon. Okay, so we have not wait. Okay, let's select all this frame, go to motion tool, add a master null and let's reduce the size by 98, 97, let's go with 95, okay. Okay, copy paste. And let's try to fix this, okay. Let's set this scale to 100. We can fix that I guess. Let's scale this comp down. Okay, so this one is not gonna work. We can pre-comp this, select mobile attributes, rename it to main screen, open this comp, go inside, set this to 95, go to the main, select this iPhone layer, go to custom layers, select this to main screen, set it to none, then set it to main screen. Change the size of it, I guess. Let's set it to 1179 to 2556. Now our issue is fixed, I guess. Let's set it to 98. Let's set it to 95 or more. Let's set it to 95 and leave it there. And that's it for this live stream. Okay, in tomorrow's live stream we're gonna add some text and few other elements, and I hope it will work out. This is the only solution we can apply to the screen. Okay, so see you soon. Bye bye.